All right, good afternoon, Liberty North AP and dual credit psychology students. So I'm going to do a quick email rundown, especially for the 8A students on the Unit 3 lab number 1, which is going to be your family genogram and map. Okay, so the 8A students, obviously you can watch this if you need more information, or the B-Day students, but they actually had time in class to start this for me to answer questions and kind of check them as they work in class. So kind of to do guided practice. Where the 8A students, you're not going to have that. Okay. So again, if you go to Canvas under assignments, you can see the Unit 3 assignments are now posted. You're going to notice you have 2 labs there to do. Okay. This is the first one. All right. So this is the biological basis of behavior. Unit 3 is such a big chapter that we're going to have 2 labs. Okay. All right. So the first one, you're going to basically genogram step 1, and then step 2 is next week we're going to map your family. Okay, so the first step is to genogram, basically diagram your family from your grandparents down to you. All right, and then what you're going to do is then you're going to go in and fill in and identify any genetic influences that there might be in your family on you, and you're going to look for positives and negatives. So again, on learning target number 3, we talked about adaptive value. Okay. So things that are positive that increase survival have high adaptive value. Things that are negative or decrease survival have low adaptive value. Okay. So we want a mix of both, because in every family you have both. You have things that have high adaptive value that increase survival, such as eyesight, athletic ability, intelligence, I think Native American ancestry, all on my mom's side actually has high adaptive value. And then, of course, our default is to identify all the negative things or the things that have low adaptive value, which you'll have plenty of those. But don't forget that we want to mix. And it's not going to be an inclusive list. Talk to your parents, ask them the questions, kind of work through the genogram together. But obviously, you're going to find things that have low adaptive value, such as illness, sickness, anxiety, depression, cancer, stroke, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, diabetes. I'm just thinking of the things that people normally owe. High blood pressure. I had some students that put down O negative, which is the universal blood type, which is very rare. That would be a very high adaptive value thing that you could add there. And it was interesting. It was either on the male side or the female side of the family. Okay. All right. So first step, again, is to diagram it. All right. So I'm going to kind of go down my genogram here. All right. You're going to start with your grandparents and you're going to go down to you. Okay. And for some of you, it might be better if you start with you and your siblings and then work your way up. Okay. Now, males are the boxes, females are the circles. X means that they're deceased or they have passed on. Okay. And what you want to try to do is do oldest to the left, youngest to the right. So I am the oldest child out of 2. I have a younger brother. My dad was the oldest of 2. My mom is the middle child of 3. Both my grandfathers were older. Okay. Now I have a pretty clean genogram. Okay. So that's the first step, is to diagram it. Now what I have over here on the board, which I'll walk through, are just examples of questions that students have asked me about how to do it, how to genogram it. So this one would be that mom and dad have a divorce. They have 2 biological children. Mom remarries, has no children. Dad remarries, has 2 daughters, but also he married a woman that actually had 3 children from a previous marriage. Okay. So that in there, you would kind of have half brothers, half sisters, and stepbrothers and stepsisters there. Okay. Then if we go lower over here, okay, so if we have identical twins, so this would be identical twin girls, and this is fraternal twins right here. So you just do one line and you branch them off. Okay. Again, I had twin sisters in class last year, which was awesome because we could do a twin study pretty much any day of the week in the class. Okay. Then here we have mom and dad. Dad is deceased. They had 2 male children biologically. Mom now is in another relationship with another man. No children. This would be adoption. So if you have adopted siblings, if you notice they're not attached with the vertical line to the biological marker, So this family has an older son and a younger son biologically, and they adopted 2 twin girls, okay? And we put them in the middle because chronologically, age-wise, this is where they would fit, okay? So if it was one child, it'd just be a circle or a square and not connected, okay? And then over here, 6th period student, you know who you are. So this would be, again, a way to do stepbrothers, stepsisters, half-brothers, half-sisters. But you have here, so you have mom and dad have an older son, a younger daughter. They get divorced. Mom remarries twice, all right? And mom remarries and marries a man who has a previous marriage with 1 daughter, and then they have 1 boy together. Dad remarries, has a daughter. I can't tell if this is a separate one or not. I think this one might be a separate one. Here's the original marriage. They have an older son biologically, adopted a female and a male child. Okay. Oh, and then both of them had previous marriages. So we should do, this would be 2, 1, 1. Okay. So dad had a previous marriage with a woman and he had 1 biological daughter. Mom had a previous marriage with a man who had also had 1 biological daughter. And then they remarried here and had a son and then adopted a girl and a boy. Okay. All right. So that is the first assignment. Okay. So to get your family diagrammed, okay, get your genogram in place, and then go through and identify high and low adaptive value genetic influences, nature influences to who you are, okay? So that's the first step, is just get all the nature stuff diagrammed and in your genogram. Get all the genetic influences that you could have. Now, again, it's not going to be exhaustive. I mean, obviously, that's kind of hard to do, but just do what you can do. And if you don't know any of this information, talk to your family and just say, you know, what genetic influences do we have from our family, good or bad, and kind of work on it together, okay? All right? And then Monday and Tuesday, again, we'll do part 2, which is map it. Okay, now again, the lab is not due until at the earliest November 6th, when you're actually taking the quiz over Unit 3, which is right now it's November 6th and 7th, okay? All right, if you have any questions, email me. I know on the doc, it also says, you know, maybe use GenePro. I think the easiest way to do it is to draw it first. And then it does become messy, and I'm not going to grade you on, you know, how messy it is, just if you've done it. But then if it bothers you, the messiness, then there are free online tools that you can use to kind of put it into it'll put it into a nice chart for you. You just enter the information and it'll print the squares and the circles out for you. Okay. But I don't care which one you turn in. You know, I just had some students are going to have a big genogram. And we were working with some students 5th hour, you know, 9 brothers and sisters. Some of them are adopted, some are not. 8 brothers and sisters, you know, those are going to be big genograms. So sometimes it helps to do that. Okay. All right. I'll see everybody next week. Have a great 3-day weekend.